I haven't been to Lake County in a while, so it's a pleasure to be here. I've got a few friends that live in town, and I hope maybe I can catch up with a couple of them before I scoot out this afternoon. But it's an honor to be here. Like she said, I am Denise Grimsley, and I'm a candidate for the Commissioner of Agriculture, and listen to you, some of your questions, and talk about, we had some conversations with some of you before lunch today, and let me talk to you about Jennifer Sullivan, who is a phenomenal house member. You are very lucky. We had some conversations about how the House is sometimes more conservative than the Senate and why that is, and my philosophy is you're going to see that conservatism move over into the Senate as we're electing more House members into the Senate every day. And hopefully, perhaps you may get to come over to the Senate as well, Jennifer. We'd love to have you over there, although I'll be gone. But I'd still, as a citizen, would like to see you there. So thank you for being here today. I want to thank you also, the club, for what you do for candidates and for elected officials. You know, I started out in my first foray into politics was I was a county chairman of the Republican Executive Committee. And then I was a state committee woman. And I'll tell you how I got there, because when I went to register to vote at 18, I'm in a county that is predominantly Democrat, and it's a rural county. And when you go to register to vote, they say if you want to vote in elections, you're going to have to be a Democrat. So I was a Democrat up until 1989, and then I couldn't take it anymore. I finally figured out what it was, and I went down to change parties, and then somehow I became chairman of the Republican Executive Committee, tasked with taking the county Republican. And it was 75% Democrat, and I worked and worked and worked, and then finally, this was 25, how many years ago, guys? Almost 30 years ago, I guess now. But finally, this year, the county, Hardy County, has all Republican elected officials, and it finally went Republican. And when the sheriff finally changed, the sheriff has a lot of power, everybody else went with him. So I'm excited about that. So I know what it takes to put on lunches like today, and what it takes to go out and work for candidates. And also, I understand the importance of grassroots when it comes to Republican politics. And I used to wonder, when I was the chairman, candidates would come into town, or even the local candidates, I often wondered if they appreciated what we did for them, because we worked like crazy, just like you work like crazy. And I will tell you, as a candidate, as an elected official, I think Jennifer will tell you the same thing, we appreciate every single thing that you do. So thank you, and give yourself a round of applause. Well, next year's election is critically important to the future of Florida. As you know, the governor and all of the cabinet positions are open seats. And what we need to do is work like crazy to keep all of those seats in Republican control. The Commissioner of Agriculture is one of those seats. And I'm running because I have a passion for agriculture, number one, but I also have a passion for helping people. And I'm from the Heartland area of Florida. I grew up in Hardy County. I've lived in Highlands County for the past few years. And I was joking with somebody earlier. He said, "Where do you live?" I said, "I don't know. I'm really homeless right now. I just put my house up for sale in Sebring, and I've got a rental house that I'm kind of camping out in Lake Placid, which is Highlands County, but my family's property, and we all live in Hardy, so I have a fifth wheel I hold up to the barn. So I kind of stay in between the two, and I don't always know where everything is. And I went to put on my flag pin this morning, and it must be in the other house, or it's in the car. And I've been traveling around the state, and I was in Pensacola Monday, Miami yesterday, but I was supposed to go back to Sarasota, and my plans got changed, so I took a flight to Miami, and I looked for pantyhose this morning, and I think they're in my trunk. So that's the kind of life. I feel like a nomad right now, spending most of my nights in hotels. But my family is in the citrus and cattle business. We've been in the citrus business for 3 generations. My grandfather started it with 10 acres of grove many, many years ago. And to this day, even though I'm a hospital administrator in my day job, and I'm a senator as well, on Saturday I can always count that my dad has a list of things for me to do, whether it's mowing the grove, or it's doing the books, or working cows. I know that we're going to be out doing something on the property. But you know, as you know about agriculture, it's one of the biggest industries in the state, and it's been our lifeblood in this state for over 150 years. It's a $120 billion industry, and it employs about 2 million Floridians. I believe in this county, the stats say that agriculture employs about 30,000 people, and it impacts your economy about $1 billion every year. So it's important. It's important to everybody. You eat every day, so that's, if you're not in the agriculture business, it's still important to you. But it's an industry that faces a lot of challenges, and there are things in the agriculture industry that we're dealing with, like citrus greening. We're also looking at some unfair dumping practices that are occurring in the state of Florida, but also in the country as well, other countries. And agriculture is, like I said, what we do to feed our families. And if we want a strong and healthy Florida, then we need a strong and healthy agriculture industry. And I intend to be that advocate for Florida's farmers who will stand up for their needs, not only on the state level, but also I have the ability, I believe, to work with the congressional delegation as well and articulate what exactly is going on in Florida. The Department of Agriculture is a cabinet agency. It's very large. It's a $1.7 billion budget. There's around 3,800 employees or so. There are about 12 divisions. Many of those divisions deal with consumer services. So when you hear Department of Agriculture, agriculture is the first thing that you think about, but it's actually Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. It deals with things like, anybody a fan of the Second Amendment? Yeah. Yes. It deals with concealed weapons permits. It also deals with telemarketers, gas pumps, food safety, multiple things. Travel agents, security guards. There's just when you start looking at the list of the things Department of Agriculture does, you're like, really? That's the Department of Agriculture. I met with somebody earlier, I met with somebody at Starbucks right down the road, and she does student tours in school districts, and they're regulated by the Department of Agriculture. And so most people think it's agriculture, it has something to do with me. It does have something to do with almost everybody in the state of Florida or someone you know. When I was growing up, I went to high school and I got out and I went to college to be a nurse. Today, like I said, I'm a hospital administrator, and in the interim period of time, I worked 17 years as a nurse, and then my dad got sick, and he was out of work for about 18 months. And during that period of time, I left my job as a nurse to run his company. And that's when I realized, that's how I got interested in politics, really, because I started seeing how the government treated us as business owners. But I do have a passion for agriculture. I've got a good understanding of it, and my experience with running a business, signing the front and the back of the paycheck, and serving others is what I think gives me the best ability to lead the department going forward. And not to mention ladies, sorry guys, this is a ladies club, so I'm going to talk to the ladies a little bit. I would be the first ever female agriculture commissioner in the state of Florida. And so I'll also tell you that I know what it takes to balance a multi-billion-dollar budget. I was the appropriations chairman in the House of Representatives for 2 years, overseeing a $70-some-odd billion budget at the time. And the year I was appropriations chairman was the 2 years that the economy had such a downturn. And so we really had to stretch those dollars as far as we could. And I struggled because I'm a real big advocate for funding mental health issues, and I think the sheriff will tell you that we're grossly underfunded. We were able to maintain that funding that year without cutting it. So I do have that experience in the financial sector, both in the public sector and the private sector as well. I also need to think about Pam Bondi's going to be leaving this year. So I think that we could use another woman or two on the cabinet. There's also another female running for Attorney General. And so there may be some more females get into the race in some of these cabinet races before it's all over. But as commissioner, I will tell you that I'll continue to fight against citrus greening. And I know you don't have citrus, I don't believe, anymore in Lake County. You used to have a lot of it. But citrus greening is still a big problem impacting that industry in the state of Florida. The other thing that Commissioner Putnam's done that I really like is the farm-to-table program that he has in the school districts. It's helped farmers have another market that they can sell to, but it's also helped the school districts save money. And it's also getting the nutritious food to the children on their lunch table every day, which is so important. My daughter is a school teacher, and she tells me of all the kids that come to school that they don't eat at home, and that's the only time that they get nutritious food. Now, when I went to school, it was pizza. I really liked that fat pizza that they used to have on lunch from two of those big yeast rolls, but that's probably not what they should be eating. But there is a lot of truth and science in the fact that if you catch your kids early, their taste buds develop. And so if they get used to Oreos, that's what they're going to want to eat. And I probably am not a good one up here preaching it since I just gave those two girls my cookie. But that's what they get used to eating. If you get them started out on fresh peaches, fresh strawberries, and that's what their palate is accustomed to. And even as adults, you know, if you've ever gone on a diet, you've gone on a carb-free diet, or you've just cut out sugar for a while. I don't eat much sugar, and when I do eat it, I can really tell the difference. It's not as good as it used to be when I used to eat candy all the time. And so that's just the way our bodies work. Also, gun rights. I will be the one to stand up to protect gun rights for our citizens in the state of Florida, and also to work to protect consumers against fraud, because some of the consumer complaints comes through the Department of Agriculture. And I want to make sure, most of all, that the department is responsive to the needs of the citizens of the state. Too many times, government winds up stepping on the backs of individuals and businesses rather than helping them. And I'll tell you the story about how I alluded to it earlier, but how I actually got interested in running for office. So like I said, I worked as a nurse for 17 years. I started running our company, and we had about 75 employees, and I had to learn it from the ground up because I had a degree in nursing. I didn't have a degree in business at the time. So I went back to school. I got a bachelor's degree in business, and I got a master's degree in business administration. And I worked every day. I mean, it was a 7-day-a-week job. I cared about our employees, and I cared about our customers, and I wanted our customers to have a good experience. And our motto was meet or exceed every customer expectation that walked through the door. And I always would tell our employees, you know, we're in the bathroom business. That bathroom needs to be clean. Because you think when you stop at a convenience store, think of all the cruddy ones that you've been to, and then think of the nice ones that you go to. And so those are the things that I was really focused on. So there was a Friday afternoon in January, and I was down in DeSoto County, which is where one of our stores was. And I walked into the store just to check out for the weekend. It was a cold weekend. It was going to freeze that weekend. And in the convenience store business, you don't really make your money off of gasoline unless you're just selling tons of it. You make your money off of things like coffee and fountain drinks. That is your biggest margin items in the store. And I walked in, and the manager said to me, our hot water heater's gone out. Well, in the state of Florida, you can't sell food, even fountain drinks or even coffee, without hot water. Our person that worked for us was there replacing the hot water heater. And in the meantime, the inspector from the Department of Agriculture walked in, and I knew him because he inspected all of our stores. And I said, hey, Henriette, this is what's going on. I just wanted to let you know. And he looked at his watch, and he said, I'd really like to help you, but I have to be back in Sebring at 5 o'clock, and it's 4:30, and I've got to go. I'm going to red tag your equipment and shut you down for the weekend. And I said, no, you're not. I have to sell coffee this weekend. And like any other small business owner, you're always trying to make a profit. You're trying to meet payroll. You're trying to do everything else. You're trying to meet your debt. And he said, I can't help you. I've got to go. And he wasn't ugly about it, but he said, I've got to go. I don't have a choice. So I got on the phone, and I called Tallahassee to find the highest-ranking person in the Department of Agriculture on a Friday afternoon at 4:30. And Jennifer, you know there aren't very many people there. And I got the most rude, arrogant man I've ever talked to, and he was like, ma'am, I don't really care what you tell me. You're not going to sell any coffee for this weekend. You're just not going to do it. And so I hung up the phone, and I thought, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do about this, but I'm going to do something about this one day. So ultimately, I ran for office. We had an opportunity to sell our company in 2004, and it was an open seat in the legislature that year, so I ran. I had no idea if I would win, never been in politics other than being a county chairman, but I did know how to run campaigns because I'd done several of them. And had no idea, though, if I would win. Never been a female elected in that area. It was, very much a kind of a good old boy. The 4 counties that I ran in at the time. Had no idea. But I did, and I'll tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed being there. And Andrea's with me today, and she's been with me quite a while. But she'll tell you, there are days that I'm like, what in the world am I doing this for? This is crazy. Some of the garbage that you have to put up with. People are mean. And they don't even know you, and they'll attack you based on something somebody else did. But then that one day comes along where somebody walks into your office, or I run into somebody downtown that has an issue with government, or they just have an issue and they don't know where to go, that we're able to help, that nobody else will help because they don't have a lobbyist. They don't. They're just a normal person out working that you can do something for that makes all the difference in the world. And that one day makes up for the 10 bad days you had before. So one of the things I really tried to do in the Senate is I have 8 counties now, and it's a huge district. It's a lot of it is rural. And I do mobile office hours and try to go out in each of those counties and talk to constituents and let them know how we can help. Because I also had an issue one year where we were remodeling the store. DOT had came through, it was Highway 17, and they were widening the highway. And we asked them if we could have a cut into our property because we had had one up until that period of time. They were like, no way, no how are we going to put a cut in a median in Salto Springs. There's not even a traffic light. And so I didn't know, I guess, as a business owner that I could call my state representative. And I just happened to run into him one day, and he's like, why didn't you call me? I can help you with that. I'm like, I have no idea. So ultimately, long story short, we got the cut in the median. And so I really tried to put that message out to people in the community that whether it's Department of Children and Families, Department of Revenue, whatever that state agency is, if you have an issue with it, we can help you navigate that process. You know, I think as consumers, there's a few things you want, and that's you want somebody to know you, call you by name. You want the process to be easy for you, and if you find that it's not, you want somebody to hold your hand and help you get through it. And that's what we do, and that's what makes everything worthwhile. We have all kind of issues with Department of Children and Families where maybe it's a grandparent or there's somebody, a neighbor that's abusing a child. They can't get anybody to come out and look. And so we have one person in our office, that is all she does, and she is very good at it. She's like a dog with a bone. So if you've got a social issue with DCF, she'll go to the wall for you to get it done, and I'm glad that we have her. But I will also tell you that moving forward, I want to take some of those qualities to the Department of Agriculture, but we are trying our best to run a grassroots campaign. It is a big state. It's 67 counties, and I thought I had a lot of counties with 8. It's been quite challenging trying to travel the whole state, but I've seen so many places, roads that I've never even been down or never even really existed. And I want to come out to every county, though, as many times as I can and talk to as many people as I can, and then find out what your concerns are with the Department of Agriculture and even in the legislature, what can we do to help you? And this is a campaign of first of a sort. We are trying to qualify by petition, so no one has qualified by petition in the Republican Party for a statewide office since the 1990s. So I have to have 130,000 some odd signatures. And so there are some signature cards in the back. If you didn't get a chance to sign one, if you would, please sign one. They're also on our website at denisegrimsley.com, so you can go online and do it. Or if you'd like for me to mail you some, we can mail you a whole bunch, and you can take them to some of your friends and families. The address is on the back of the cards that I'll mail you, and you can just mail them back in. The address is also on the website. So that's what we're trying to do. It also gives us the ability to go out and meet voters. We'll probably be doing some door-to-door to get some of those signed in different counties. So if you want to join the campaign, I'd love to have you head up a door-knocking campaign to get these signed or do sign waving or anything else that we may be doing as we move forward for the election. And if you'd like to be part of the Women's Leadership Group, we're going to try to set up one in each and every county. I'd love to have you join. But I won't be able to win this race without Republican women. Because and men too.
Sure.
But women, I will tell you, know the meaning of hard work. They know how to balance the family. We balance our family, our jobs. We balance our community interests, and we're very good at it. And I know each and every one of you are good at it as well. Women are the majority of the voters in the country. They're also the majority of the Republican voters here in Florida. So it's crucial that I have women working for me and helping me. And, as women, we've been at the forefront of politics for a really long time, and whether we think about it, we acknowledge it or not, if you think about every social movement in American history, women have always been at the front of it. And most of the times, they've been Republican women. And too often today, despite the progress that we've made, political campaigns and parties sometimes still lump us into one big group. And we've all heard about the Republican war on women. We've all heard about it. We still hear about it today. And as Republican women, I think that we know really how silly that is. Because if you think about it, the only war on women has been waged to us by the Democrats. They're the ones that have told us how to vote. They've told us how we should think and what we need to do. And that's what's very discouraging to me. And I know as Republicans, we know better than that. And we know that it is the principles of the Republican Party that has put us where we are today. And that's what we have to keep fighting for at all levels. And it's the Republican Women's Club, it's like this one, that does the work. So thank you again very much for what you do. In 2018, let's keep fighting to keep Republicans in office. We need to keep Lake County red, we need to keep the state of Florida red, and we need to keep the country red in 2018. So thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to spending more time with you.